Let's take a minute to see some of the scenic highlights before the video begins. Good morning. Carmelita and I are camped in Challis, Idaho. For today's adventure, we're up the East Fork of the Salmon River and we're going into Jimmy Smith Lake in the White Cloud Mountains. The Jimmy Smith Trail's open to vehicles 50 inches or less. I don't think it's very far up to the lake, maybe a half a mile, but we're going to go up there and see the lake and the beautiful mountain scenery. You ready to go, Carmelita?
I am ready to see a lake.
Well, that first part of the trail had some pretty steep drop-offs, definitely seatbelt terrain. What do you think, Carmelita?
Narrow. It's very narrow.
All right, looks like we're out of that and we'll head on up the trail. At 0.4 miles in, we're already to the lake. We're going to drive on down and do a little hiking and maybe some fishing. Well, the trail just kind of dead ends right into the lake. So we're gonna have to back up out of here and find a place to park and see if there's a hiking trail off the top. There's a couple old hiking trails here down on the bottom going both ways, but it's pretty brushy, more brush than I want to be in.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna back her up. Well, we've backed up the trail. It wasn't that challenging, but you know, down at the bottom there's a little ravine, so we needed to pay attention. But anyway, we're back up on top and we're gonna grab the fishing poles and the backpack and go do some hiking. Well, Carmelita's already headed up the trail, so I'm gonna go that way and see if I can find her, and we'll do some fishing. There's Carmelita, just up the trail. Hi, girlfriend.
So, if I'm looking around, it's, kind of, I have to get off the trail and go down.
Yeah, we'll just keep walking and see if we can find an area. With your recent foot and ankle surgery, we're not going down over the hill.
Yeah.
Around the little cove of the lake. They're unique looking flowers. Lots of yellow flowers. By the creek.
Not the most graceful with the new brace on, but getting there.
I don't know what those berries would be. How's that new brace working?
Seems to be working pretty good.
Well, we've walked quite a ways up along the lake. We're not seeing any good ways down, so it looks like we're not going to fish it. So we're going to make our way back towards the RZR. Well, Carmelita and I didn't find any good spots to be able to get down and go fishing.
Especially with my brace on.
In hindsight, we should have brought our inflatable kayak and just launched it right down here at the end of the four-wheeler trail. Anyway, it was still fun. We had a nice time. We got some hiking in, and we're going to have some lunch, then head back to the truck. We sure appreciate you joining us for this adventure, and we hope you'll join us for the next one. Finished our lunch. Now we're going to head back to the truck.